Everybody, just making a little update video. First and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone for their support and the kind messages I get, and the positive stuff I get on Twitter, and to all you followers. And I really do appreciate it, and thank you for the support. And I do enjoy our little chit chats together. Just updating on you on a few things that have been happening. As you'd probably be aware, the police have contacted me. I've got to go into the police station and obviously voluntarily hand myself in. As the son of Bernard O'Mahony is wants to press charges against me for harassment. How about that one? I don't know if you've ever seen all their stuff on Twitter, and I think the harassment charges are going to the wrong people. But if you could just support me on this, I really appreciate it. I've got enough proof of my Twitter messages. People were sending me stuff left, right and centre at the moment. So when I go in there, I think I'm going to surprise the police with, with what I've got. But there you go. And, how can the so-called hard man gangster, crime writer, who's having his second film's coming out in September, and I hope Carnaby are proud that they're making films about a family of grasses, and that's all I can say on the matter. It's going to do their publicity a wonderful thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? Here we are making films about the man, his first one, supposedly give Tony a clump, stuck a gun in Pat's face, lived in the underworld, hard man. Beat everyone up, chased everyone off, and, there he is later, handing over his drug dealers in Raquel's, and his son's trying to get me nicked. So, what can you say on that matter? But sad state of affairs, but that's the way it is. And apparently now he's got 3 books coming out, all together. The birth of the Essex boys and the death of the Essex boys. Well, we all know they're dead anyway. And this is the truth, right? The real truth. 25 years down the line plus, and we're still learning the truth. Well done, you. I mean, that's really good research. And it's not hearsay. And if anyone knows what went on, you do. Is that a fact? Well, I'll leave that to your discretion. But one of his books is trying to destroy my reputation. Obviously can't do it physically, needs to do it with the police. And another thing in one of his new books, a little story about this. And I'm going to tell you about it, right? Because it's a really sad story. 13 years ago, when we had a box at West Ham with my friends, a young boy's come past in a wheelchair, right? His dad used to knock on the door, say, "Hello, Carlton." And his name's James. He's got cerebral palsy. He's 27 now. A real lovely boy. He can't feed himself. He can't hold a drink, right? And he has to have a carer come in every day to help him dress and whatever. And at the time, he thought he'd have an operation. He can't speak, and he's having problems and everything else. And he's got his wheelchair, and he says, all right, if he comes in and says hello to you, he said, you're his hero, right? He's coming, always give him a cuddle, kiss him on the cheek, have photos done with him. And every home game, I was there, he'd be there. And then over the years, I built up a friendship. And obviously, I got to know his dad, who was his full-time carer, which I respected for doing that, looking after his son, because it's no easy task, right? The boy's got cerebral palsy, right? Which, Bernie has not stated in this new thing he's trying to do, is trying to make it look like I'm part of some paedophile, some paedophile ring, right? Because I've got a friendship with a boy who's got cerebral palsy. Let me explain the situation, right? So a few years I built up a friendship with James, and he had a couple of barbecues at his house, and I got invited with big crowds of people, all grown-ups, all with children, all normal people. And I went a couple of times to see him and got quite friendly with him, and made a fuss of him, and he used to love it. He got a payout from the NHS anyway. quite a lot of money, and he used to go on holidays and that. But when he used to go to places like Ibiza, holiday resorts, he walked down the road, and because of his arms, he'd swing about and everything, and he couldn't walk properly. Gangs of boys, people, just naturally horrible people on the piss would take the piss out of him, shouts, abuse at him and everything, right? So, when I was speaking to his father said to me that he, like, what part of Spain, because they knew I had a place in Spain and I was living out there, what part of Spain are you? Because we'd like to get a villa, ground floor, with a pool, walking steps, rails, and adapt it so that he could, if he wanted an holiday, he could go there and not suffer the abuse, right? Excuse me. So what I did, obviously my mistake now, is I got him, got hold of the immobilisers, the estate agents. They got him a ground floor flat, apartment, so they. Yes, so just wanted to make his life easier for him. And we was living in Spain at the time, and then my daughter's best friend rang me and said to me that someone was trying to get hold of me. A fella called Mikey. He'd met me once before in the past, and he knew who I was. And the only way to get hold of her, because he knew that Jodie was my oldest daughter's best mate, and she's like another daughter to me. I've known her since she was 5, and she's been close with our family and to us all them years. So she wouldn't give my number out until she spoke to me. So I said, well, that's okay. So what I did, I rang him, and then he said, I'll FaceTime you. I say, FaceTime me. And he said, hello, Carlton, it's Mikey. I know, we met years ago. I went, yeah. And I said, what can I do for you? And he said, well, what it is, he said, I work for these paedophile hunters, and they're called Broken Dreams. And I said, oh, good luck to you for that. I said, like, you know, it's a worthy cause, having granddaughters, you know what I mean, 14 and 16 plus. And I'm thinking, you know, I hate the thought of someone doing that to my daughters or my grandchildren, anyone really, anyone. And it's disgusting. It makes me feel sick. So basically, he said, I'm going to show you something that I shouldn't be showing you, but James's dad had set up a Moody Facebook page, right? And his profile was a photo that was took of us in Spain, me and him like on our own. But it weren't. James was in it. He cut it out, and he just used the photo of me and him. And he's on his profile page. He said he was, you know, he was to do with the Rise of Foot Soldier film, the original one. He was part of work with me. He's my right hand man. He run this for me, run that for me, delivered this, done all sorts of stuff, just to try and impress young girls, right? Because you know, impress them, and using me to do that. Which is which is totally wrong. And I never knew nothing about this until Mike Shane said, please don't say nothing to him. Please don't let Marcus card or nothing or anything. I said, well, I'm not that close to him. I'm close to his son. And I said, please, if you do go near him or whatever, and his son with him, he's got cerebral palsy. I said, like, you know, tread carefully, because I'd hate to think of James being upset and, like, getting caught up in the middle of this and getting hurt for it. So, as our dear friend said before, he said that I rang him up, told him not to take his phone, that he was going on a meet. How would I have known that they was going to go on a meet? You know what I mean? I didn't know nothing where they were going, when they were going, or anything. Do you know what I mean? I was totally oblivious to it. They were just doing what they were doing. They're not going to tell me when they're going to go flop on someone or do anything, because that's not part of what their job, if you know what I mean. Anyway, there we go. All that happened, and basically, what's happened is he's now using it. Our friend Byrne is now using that to destroy me and my reputation. Right? Obviously he's got these new books coming out, and he wants to use it against me, to turn people against me, or whatever he wants to do, you know what I mean? So I just want to let you know the story behind that, and that's what we're dealing with, you know what I mean? And, you know, and now we've got Carnaby making films about this man, and it's obvious to everyone who he is, and what he does, and now his son, and basically they're going to both be known as grasses for what they're doing, especially like having me nicked. So I'm going to keep you informed on all that situation, but as I said, I'm going to fight all the way to Crown Court if I have to. My barrister's brilliant, and if it costs me money, it costs me money, you know what I mean, just to prove them wrong. But that's where we're at the moment, and I'm going to keep you updated on everything that's going on and little videos. But as I said before, thanks for your support and everything. I just wanted you to know the story behind it, because he's going to make such a big thing about it in his new book, right? And, you know, listen, we've got a film company making films about this man and the way he goes, the so-called underworld connection and everything else, and part of the original founder member of the Essex Boys, and he clumped Tony, he put a gun in Pat's face, and they're all wrong uns, you know what I mean? So you crack on with your films, because they're just ending up like Carry On films now, do you know what I mean? And I think you're just embarrassing yourselves to use someone like that to try and get another film and another film and another film. But listen, you know what you're doing, so crack on. I wish you all the luck in the world with all that. But other than that, thank you everyone for listening, and I'll keep you updated on any more.